Hi friends, Stevie here. Welcome to another episode of Absolutely Arms. This one is the Chinstand edition. If you haven't done these with me before, we'll be doing a micro warm-up and then a little looping flow that we'll go through maybe twice, so not a ton, before tinkering with an arm balance for just a minute or two. You don't have to actually do the arm balance. That's available. I will showcase how to use props to make it a little bit more accessible. And it's more about finding ways to quickly put in components or aspects that make up this posture, including the entrance and the exit, into a flow. If you haven't done the Absolutely Arms original first flow, we take more time to break down some of these movements and offer different modifications and choices that you can make. So if it seems like this one is moving fast, it is. I get a lot of requests for 10 to 15 minute things we can do that still lead us to complex postures, and it's very, very possible. So here we're just continuing to play with a similar base flow and changing some aspects to make it more related to chin stand. You don't necessarily need any specific props. Well, actually, that's not true. Grab 2 blocks because they will be helpful in both our warm-up and also for the actual chin stand should you choose to go upside down, and if they could be even in weight and size. Probably cork if you have them. If not, foam is just fine, both for stability and weight. And if you know you like having something under your chin that's a little softer, maybe a towel or a blanket or even just like a sweatshirt or a t-shirt to throw on your mat. Gather whatever you'd like for your practice, and I'll meet you on your space.
This practice is brought to you by Aloha Yoga, a cork-powered mat and accessory company with a focus on enhanced grip for confident and creative movement. No towel, no problem. Yaloha offers the ability to move freely without fear of slipping, even in your sweatiest practice, all while embracing artistic expression through their unique mat designs. Check out the video caption for a link to view their products, or visit our Grow Together page to learn more about why Authentic Movements continues to choose Yaloha.
We'll get started in a tabletop position. Keep your blocks nearby. Stack your shoulders somewhat over your wrists and your hips somewhat over your knees. Grip the floor with your fingers. Send the weight forward, thinking long spine. Lift the low ribs away from the floor. Press back using the fingers to help you pull forward. Weight into the fingers. Press back. Weight into the knees. Come forward. Small bend in your elbows. Think about bending the pointy part straight back. Keep the low ribs lifted just for now. Reach forward, just putting a little bit more weight in the wrists here. Grip with the fingertips like you're trying to make a fist through the floor. Come back. Move the right hand to the middle of the space. Lift the left arm up. Stretch high. Weave the left arm underneath. We're not resting here. Just stretch and reach. Do whatever you'd like with the hips. Inhale, send the left arm up to the sky. Exhale, weave it underneath. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, weave under. Keep going with your breath or even quicker. Just trying to get a little twisting and mobilizing through the mid-spine here so we can find a bit of extension, which can be helpful for something like chin stand. One more on this side, whatever that looks like. And then switch it out. Left hand to the middle of the space, right arm up. Big reach. Exhale, weave it underneath and stretch. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, weave it under, bend your elbow as you come down to find a little bit more stretch. Keep going here. One more like that. Place both hands down. Again, somewhat under your shoulders. Grip with your fingertips here. Let your chin come up and notice how that already changes the back. Can you keep the pelvis set? So lengthen the tailbone towards the back of the mat, but allow the ribs to move freely here. Try to keep the pelvis there. Drag the hands back and pull your heart to tap between your thumbs. The chin reaches forward. If it touches the floor, great. Let's give it a little stretch. Just tug back. Try to keep most of the weight in the hands. Elbows are not your kickstand, but they are hugging in close. No, mine are not touching. Press with your hands. Push back up. Let's do that again. So it's the drag of the hands with the fierce grip of the fingers that pulls us forward here. Pull with the fingers. Keep the pelvis steady as possible. You'll lose it a little bit. Try to bring the chest further forward and the chin down to the floor. Lightness on the chin, maybe even hovering through the chest here. Grip with the fingers. Pull the low ribs slightly away from the floor. This is not a big back bend. Push back. Feel the power of your arms. One more like that. I know, y'all. It's a big deal. Pull forward. Try to keep maybe the chin and the chest an inch or a millimeter off the floor. Resist the urge to tuck your elbows under your body. Press back. Oh. Roll through the wrists, maybe taking the top of the hands. It can be a lot. Chin stand can be a lot. The active back body can help us here. So grab one of your blocks, place it on the long setting between your heel and the bottom of your butt. We call this your thut here at Authentic Movements. If you've done this with us before, squeeze it. Now you can see why I said up for a heavier block. Grip with the fingertips, lengthen the tail down. Keep that, lift the block up behind you, and take little pulses. The back body, not just the big erectors that run down your spine, also things like your hamstrings and your glutes are going to start really helping find a little lightness in your chin stand. Keep pulsing, smaller movements. Try to avoid this going up higher into the spine and think it more about the glute and the hamstring here. Pause. Bring your right knee towards your right arm. You might drop it. Send it back behind you. Towards your right arm, back behind you. Now pause. Bend your elbows straight backwards. Just do the same thing again. Knee to arm, bring it back. Grip with your fingers. Knee to arm, bring it back. One more time. Knee to arm, bring it back. Wonderful. Put your knee down. Take the block out. Shift back for a second. Roll through your wrists. Whew. Other side. Block in the left thut, y'all. Left thut. Whew. Grip with the fingertips, set the pelvis, pick up the knee. Little pulses of that left toe to the sky, really small. You can barely see them. Grip with the fingers, lift your low ribs, and try to squeeze into that left glute. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the knee towards the arm, and then back up. Trying to minimize change in the spine. Knee forward. Back up, it probably won't touch, that's okay. Knee forward, back up. Bend your elbows straight back and repeat. Knee forward, back, knee forward, back. One more. Knee forward, back. Lower the knee. Take both your blocks and come to your belly. We're almost done with the micro warm-up, y'all. Take your blocks out in front of you. Strength through the legs, lift the knees off the ground, squeeze your butt and push your pubic bone down into the mat. Keep the legs heavy. You can leave your head on the floor or you can peel it up like I am lightly. Try to hover your blocks off of the mat. If they're like absolutely not, just hover your arms. If your blocks are hovering, pull them down by your side, still hovering. Keep the legs heavy, glutes engaged. Reach forward, pull back. Elbows close to the side body but not touching. Reach forward. Pull back. Feel the ropey erectors down your spine, helping to hold you up. Squeeze your glutes. Reach forward. Pull back. Reach forward. Pull back. Maybe the blocks go on the ground here, and we push up just a little bit into this like really weird, funky cobra, right? It's really weird. We don't have to go up very high. Big bend in the elbows. Try to hug them lightly behind you. Squeeze your butt. Squeeze your butt. Reach your chin forward. Reach your chin forward like you're reaching it up and forward. Someone's tugging and it's a very strange feeling. It's not my favorite. Release. Okay. Take your blocks off to the side. Ugh. Press back. Child's pose for just a moment. Soften. It's time to do the flow. And remember, we've seen it before. It's just changing up a little bit and adding some things in. Okay? Down dog. Take any wiggles that you need in your down dog. If you remember from some of our previous things, we'll be pulling forward straight to a bent-armed chaturanga, and then back to downward facing dog, keeping the bend in the elbows as we go, and you can bend the knees as desired. The more you bend, probably the more challenging it will be. And this is not like a wiggly noodle spine. This is thinking about a long, strong spine as we go and trying to prioritize that. So set your hands up for success. Grip with your fingers, bend your knees, bend your elbows, pull through low plank, press back. Pull through low plank, press back. Pull through low plank, press back. One more time like that. Pull through low plank, press back. Lift your right leg, squeeze through the top of the right glute, curl your heel towards your sit bone like you had that block in there. Squeeze through your glute, squeeze through your glute. Step your right foot halfway up. Well, we've been here before. Walk your hands back to your knee for this round. Press into your knee, roll over the back foot. Length. Can you keep the same position of the box, the ribs and the pelvis, but take your chin forward. Take your chin forward, lift and squeeze through the back leg without changing the spine. Lower, lift and squeeze. Lower, lift and squeeze. 2 more. Lower, lift and squeeze. Lower, lift and squeeze. Beautiful. Take your hands down, again about shoulder distance. Come to the inner edge of your back foot and your right knee towards your right armpit. We've done these before, these side pistols. The leg is just going to go behind. You can keep the left fingers tented or lift the hand. Send that right leg behind the left. Lower to hover the booty. Press firmly through that bottom arm. Knee to armpit. Side pistol. Knee to armpit. Side pistol. Knee to armpit. Side pistol. One more. Knee to armpit. Side pistol. This time, take your knee halfway up. Both hands on the ground. Angle your shoulders to face the mat. Lift the back leg here. Squeeze the glute. Now, again, can you freeze the hips like we did at the beginning? Lengthen the tail, squeeze the booty, but allow the ribs to move separately. Drag your hands back, pull your chest forward, tap your chin and chest lightly. Press back. Use the strength of your back body to help you press back. Drag forward and back. Remember, try not to get those elbows underneath the body. Come forward. Press back. Option to do it again like that or to tuck the back toe and hover the knee. Yeah, and then we'll be in like a 3-legged dog. It's going to make a really big difference. 2 like this or 2 back in your original stand. You can also do the eccentric lowering with the 3-legged dog and then the concentric coming up with your knee down. So finish and meet me there. Back toe tucked or untucked, your choice. I like untucked for this. We're going to do a little pounce action without thinking about it too much. Bend into your elbows, feel the power. Pounce and put your left foot in front of you. And then we're just going to reverse that, okay? So thinking long spine, this left leg will go back behind. Maybe even try to balance it in front. And then it goes back behind as you teeter-totter. Catch yourself with bent arms. Come forward, lunge, or maybe a hovering lunge. What? Go back, catch yourself with your arms. Hovering lunge, whoa. Catch yourself with your arms. One more time, hovering lunge. Catch yourself with your arms. One more of those nasty little push-ups. You can keep the back knee down. That's totally fine. Squeeze the back glute. Come forward. If you want to curl your heel in, that's a great option too on the back leg. Find a little more hamstring. Come forward, tap. Come back. Whoo, put both shins down. Press back to child's pose. Drag your hands towards your knees. Roll up your spine 1 vertebrae at a time. Lift up onto your shins. Camel. As you camel, take a circle with your arms and then pull them close to the side body. Similar thing in camel to chin stand, in that we have the bottom kind of set in this hip extension. So squeeze the glutes, pull the pubic bone up, and then the ribs unfurl. Now, usually in camel, I like you press the back of the head back, but since it's chin stand, if it feels comfortable, reach the chin up towards the sky, like someone's pulling it there. Hug your elbows close to the body, but not touching. Grip with your fingers. Okay, other side. Downward facing dog. Walk it out for a moment here. We've got 5 of those pull-throughs. Bend your knees, bend your elbows. Move forward, long spine, chaturanga. Down dog. Chaturanga. Down dog. Maybe a small bend. Chaturanga. Down dog. Chaturanga. Down dog. One more time. Chaturanga. Down dog. Nice. Left leg up. Keep the hips square, curl the heel and squeeze like you have that block in your thigh. Grip with your fingertips, grip with your fingertips. Step your left foot halfway up. Walk your hands onto your knee, roll over the back foot. Reach forward with the chin slightly, squeeze the back glute, lift and hover the back leg. Lower to tap, lift. Lower to tap, lift. Lower to tap, lift. One more time. Lower to tap, lift. Hands down, back foot down. Here's our side pistols, y'all. Fingertips can stay tented on the right hand or lift up. Send that left leg behind. Hover the booty. Knee to armpit. Hover. Knee to armpit. Hover. Knee to armpit. Hover. Knee to armpit. One more like that. Hover. Knee to armpit. Put that knee down. Right hand down. Shoulders facing the mat. Lift up through the right leg. Squeeze the glute. Try to keep that pelvis steady, but then let the ribs move as you pull the hands forward. Bring the chest and the chin to tap or to hover. Send it back. Pull forward. Send it back. Pull forward. Grip with the fingers. Send it back. Your choice to do 2 more, maybe lifting through the left leg. Again, you could choose to do the eccentric, which means lowering like this, slow with control, then bending your knee and picking it back up, or doing both with your knee lifted, or neither. One more. Here's our pop-ups, y'all. Without thinking about too much, bend your elbows and pop, bringing the right leg forward, landing in a lunge, and then just reverse it. Sometimes I think it's easier to reverse it by first picking up the right leg. Thinking long, strong, box the ribs in the pelvis as you come forward, catch, bend your elbows as you land. Maybe this time when you pop up, you have a hovering lunge. Land, little chaturanga, or I guess sunbird, lunge. Land, bent arms. Lunge, hovering lunge, bent arms. One more time like that. Lunge, bent arms. One more little push-up, however you choose. Bring the chest and the chin forward. Oh, come back. Shin down. Send the hips back, little child's pose. Pull the hands back to the knees, drip your way up. Here's our camel curl. Lift the hips up. Big circle of the arms. Squeeze the booty, lift the heart. Maybe the chin reaches towards the sky. Okay, we're gonna do one more round on each side. So come back to your downward facing dog, but we'll move you a little bit faster without as many reps. Okay, just 3 pull-throughs to our little chaturanga. Bend the elbows, bend the knees. Pull through, long spine. Push back, down dog. Pull through chaturanga. Push back, down dog. Use your fingers. Pull through chaturanga. Push back, down dog. Right leg lifts. Step into the middle of your space. Press your hands off the ground. Load them onto your knee, or even think about your chin stand arms. Reach your chin forward. Roll over the back foot. Lift and squeeze. Lower. Lift and squeeze. Lower. One more time. Lift and squeeze. Lower. Hands down. Right knee to armpit. Lift your left hand. 3 pistols. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Put your right shin down. Angle yourself to face the mat. Lift your left leg. 3 of those little push-ups. You can just do it with your back knee down or bottom knee down, or lift up if you are feeling wild. Squeeze the back glute. Pull forward. 1, 2, 3. Just one little pop here. Pop to a hovering lunge. Bend your elbows. Pop up. Hovering lunge. Land back down. One more push-up. Child's pose. Drag your hands back towards your knees. Lift up, little camel curl. Set your glutes. Squeeze. Look up. Chin up. Nice. Last time, last side. Downward facing dog. 3 pull-throughs. Bend your elbows, bend your knees. Pull through, long spine. Down dog. Pull through, long spine. Down dog. One more time. Pull through, long spine. Down dog. Left leg lifts. Squeeze the heel to the glute. Step forward, middle of the space. Push off your hands and either take them to your knee or to your side. Maybe look forward, reach your chin forward. Roll over the back foot, 3 lifts. 1, squeeze the butt. 2, squeeze the butt. 3, squeeze the butt. Hands down, right hand up. Side pistols behind the leg. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Left shin down, both hands down, angle to face the mat. Lift the right leg. 3 push-ups. Can you freeze the glutes and then allow the upper body to move as you pull the chest forward? 1, 2. Let the back body help you. 3. Nice. Pop to hovering lunge. Hover, hover, hover. Wobble, wobble, wobble. You're doing work for your core here. Land back. In your bent arm position. 1 more push-up, y'all. Yeah. Nice. Camel. Slink back through your child's. Lift up, big circle, coil and curl. Squeeze your butt. Lift your chin. Nice. Okay. Roll through your wrists here for a second. Or as I'm chatting, grab onto your blocks and do some light weighted wrist rolls. Or even some chicken. If you're like, no, I don't want weighted wrist rolls right now. Okay. Chin stand. It's a hard one. You can do a very splatty chin stand where you're kind of smashing your chest and your chin. You can be like, I'm not going to play with chin stand anymore. That's fine. You can still play with the setup and know that the blocks can be helpful for this. Obviously, we already basically did a chin stand setup when you did this shin down position to the chest forward, and maybe even with the heel curled in, or maybe you did it with the back knee lifted from a downward facing dog. It's obviously going to be heavier as we lift up the hips. Anatomy is going to come into play here, right? Since we're looking for hip extension, we're kind of limiting the bend of the lumbar, the low spine, and most of us don't have a ton of hip extension. So that means it can be a lot of cervical extension and trying to find some thoracic, which is why I kind of did some of those twists early on, but we didn't do a ton. So know that different bodies are going to need different things here. Also, you don't have to have both legs straight up in a chin stand. You could think about a small V or a very active small double stag or single stag, whatever. So know that there doesn't have to be the idea of bringing the legs together right away. If you find the shoulders are a big issue for you, like they're smashing, they're dropping to the ground, they're rolling forward, like the humeral head, the upper arm bone head's coming forward, the blocks can be really helpful. I do find it can be hard to transition off the blocks then, just because you're kind of used to pushing them then. So I do encourage, if you use the blocks, to think about hovering. What do I mean by that? You're going to have to figure out if you like the blocks on the low or the medium setting. The high setting is probably not stable enough, especially if you have foam blocks. The blocks will go under your shoulders, which means your hands kind of have to go behind them. I actually like my hands a little bit wider than shoulder distance for chin stand, and then that allows me room for my chest, which is going to come forward anyway. But what do I mean by this? I often suggest people come in from like a squishy tabletop, meaning my knees are further forward than usual, and I can just play with the idea of bringing my shoulders to the box. Sorry, I had to make sure not to squish the mic. But you could see how the tendency would be then to collapse here. Collapse and just like stick up your booty. And this is fine. It's supported. It's fairly comfortable. This is a great place to just like play with chin stand and lift one leg. This leg is active, whether it's straight, bent, or somewhere in between. Use the back body to help you really squeeze that glute. You can also play with lifting up through the bottom knee and just kind of switching out here. You could see why for some people they want their blocks on the medium setting, which again, if you have foam, make sure that's stable for you. For me, this forces me to hover my chin and my chest, which is not just what I want today, but it might be what you want. I like low setting because it also gives me more opportunity to hover off the block, which if the tendency is to collapse, allow yourself that support and then try to pull back, right? So how do we get up into chin stand? Some people, based on their anatomy, may be able to literally walk their feet in until they feel like they can literally just lift up. And I kind of cheated a little. You saw my elbow going a little bit there. I wanted to just demonstrate what it looked like without hopping. Usually I need to hop, right? So there's nothing wrong with a little hop in chin stand. What's stopping you from going too far forward? Well, your fingers, for sure. And the fact that your spine probably, for most of us, can't just bend that way. However, it is possible to roll from a chin stand into a wheel, which I don't suggest doing unless you're very warmed up and turn your head to the side, which you can't do with the blocks. But it can be a little scary. So you could do this close to a wall. You could do this with a friend behind you. Usually it's a little hop, but that's going to depend on the ability of you to lengthen and look back with your head. It's going to depend on the bend you can find in your thoracic and also what's happening with your hip extension and your lumbar. So when I come into this and I get real squishy and loaded and I lift up, bend your knee to get more compression to walk in more. Lift it, like I curl this one in like I'm thinking I have the block in my thought. Notice I back my hands up for a little bit of leverage, and then it's just a little hop. It's just a little hop till I'm in this position now. I need to come down because I cannot speak to you when I am like that. But chin stand with the blocks, is it accessible? It really depends on your anatomy. For some people, it may feel pretty simple. For others, it may feel absolutely impossible. Trying it in a V, a double stag, a single stag like you saw me do when we first came up there, meaning keep the bottom leg bent, can be helpful, resisting the urge to just tilt into lumbar instead of thinking hip extension, like squeezing the glutes and helping that big chain of muscles along the back body support you, and really pushing through your hands. What does this look like without the blocks? Again, it's going to look different for different bodies, but I often get into it in the same way. The tendency is going to be to do something like this. Is that wrong? If it's comfortable for you and your shoulders, no, it's not necessarily wrong or dangerous. I'm providing a shelf. It sure makes it a lot easier. It also forces me to brace my core. It does kind of put my shoulder in a weird, crunchy position, and I do find myself wanting to just relax on my arms because they essentially make a little shelf. But it's significantly harder when you take your arms out, which you could argue is better preparing you for bend arm strength and transitions, because if you've got your arms just wedged under you, there's not a lot of space. And the idea of using the back body strength to hold you up. So again, coming in. Is there weight on my chin? Absolutely. My chest is hovering. That's how it works for my anatomy. I don't have a ton of thoracic mobility. I'm working on it. So that doesn't go down to the floor if I'm really thinking about pushing through my hands and a light pressure to my chin. But it's not a lot. I can breathe. Can't really talk because you move your jaw. But I can breathe. So I do want to give you the opportunity to play with that for a second. If you'd like to pause the video and play, although know that you've already set up and you've done the shape of chin stand today, you can also walk your feet up a wall or put your feet on a chair, make a block tower out of your blocks if you want a little bit of a lift. That's a nice option too. Walking up the wall is nice because it's controlled with the feet. Be closer to the wall than you think, which is my advice for pretty much everything, because you can just bend your knees, right? And imagine squeezing the block in your foot. Pause the video if you haven't already and you want to play with this. If you don't and you're like, I'm done, thank you, that was fun, I learned something and I got a little sweaty, then just meet me on your back butt. Ugh. Phew. From your back body, pause for a moment. Take your arms out to the side. Place your feet about hip width apart and start to sway your knees from side to side. You know, we really do try to keep this up higher in the back and think more about hip extension than lumbar extension. But yeah, we got to make a circle somehow to stack those hips somewhat over the shoulders. And for a lot of us, it does end up going a little bit into lumbar, which is not bad or dangerous. The lumbar spine is quite good at movement. Sometimes it can feel nice to give it a little attention after, kind of rolling through the back body. When I do this roll, I really think about pulling the pubic bone towards the sternum still, so that I'm kind of massaging more on the sacrum I'm getting. And even my low back touches the floor or gets close to the floor a little bit more, so it's more of a massage. The next time your knees come to the right, pause. It may feel nice to cross the right foot over the left knee and kind of tug down and away. Your knees do not have to be on the floor unless you really want them to be. Switch to the other side. Come back to the middle. Squeeze both knees into your chest. Give them a hug. Roll through the ankles. Use the interlacing of your hands, if that's available, to kind of kick and pull away from self, kind of rounding through the back body, and also a bit of a wrist release. Chin stands a lot on the wrist. It's massive wrist extension, but also trying to use the wrists a ton, and this huge elbow flexion, right? We're in this little crunched position, which we don't see too much in yoga. It's like kind of what we try to avoid in a lot of people who just flop down to chaturangas and get really low or something like that. But it's still a position. It's like a really weird low cobra position of the arms with a lot of weight as we stack all the weight in our body. Roll up to a seat or get up to a seat if you hate rolling. No need to do that today. Take your hands behind you, any position that you'd like. Since my wrists are tired, I'm going to put my hands out to the side so it's not so much about wrist extension. And then just press into the feet and take a really light reverse tabletop here. Not so much focus on hip extensions as we do that, focus on the shoulders. So press down through the hands and lift the chest up. Release your sit bones down and come to a seat. Some twisting might feel nice, maybe just splatting on your belly or on your back. But I wanted to give you a nice, quick, but heated class today to play with chin stand. There's so many ways we can play with chin stand, and especially with these postures that take maybe a good amount of effort, pressing, arm balances, things like that. If you do find yourself close on the cusp of it, sometimes thinking efficiently about how to warm up your drills in 10, 15 minutes and then playing with that can be helpful versus like programming this whole 90-minute, 2-hour class for yourself only to play with those once you've run out of energy. It's something that we talked just about in the 50-hour inversion training I just did here in Austin, but I think that people in the gym could learn something from yoga, and yoga people could learn something from people in the gym. And one of the things we can maybe take from the gym is flexibility in our training programs if we are trying to do these things that are at the edge of our strength and endurance ability, and starting to balance a little bit of like how quickly and efficiently can we warm up for these postures, which I'll also do often have a lot of end range, but still conserve energy. And you might be like, my energy was not conserved, Stevie. I was too tired. Okay, great. Well, then you know that about yourself. And maybe next time, if you want to try this, you just do the first round of the flow a bit softer, right? Learn to judge ourselves and how much energy we have left in the tank is also something that we could learn to do from the gym people. Because often when we transfer to the gym and we really start to understand what failure is, like how far can we go before we literally cannot do another rep, we're surprised and we have a lot more in the tank. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I have a few more of these coming up by request, but please shoot me a message in my DMs or here about what else you'd like to see. And as always, if you have a question about anything, hit me up. It's usually the fastest to do that on Instagram or via email. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.